Welcome to Thought Leader Thursday. This is where we come together to break outdated business practices and to start thinking differently about how we salon. Let's transform salon business one mindset shift at a time. Join me every single Thursday to chat about small shifts you can make to transform your business by changing your mindset and by thinking differently. Thought Leader Thursday is an exclusive podcast for our GHT email list subscribers. So if you know somebody who would greatly benefit from all of the beautiful things we talk about every single Thursday, go ahead and share our link to join our email subscription list with one of your favorite like-minded business owners so they too can also benefit from the amazing business tips we give every single Thursday. Let's get started.
Welcome to this week's Thought Leader Thursday. I am Megan Hurick, the Marketing Director here at Grace Hand-Tied Method, and today we're going to be talking all about building trust. This is the number one way that you're going to convert followers to clients. If you're listening to this podcast episode, you get it. You know you need to build your social media presence because it is 2022 after all. You take the time and energy to plan and schedule content, connect with locals, and slowly begin to build your audience. But now what? You're probably wondering, how do I get these people to actually sit in my chair? And the number one way for any stylist to take a new follower on social media and convert them to a client is to build trust. Pretty hair pictures are great, but there's so much more to attracting clients. Today we're going to go over 4 solid ways that you could build trust with your audience. But the reality is that building trust takes time. While building trust does take time, energy, and consistency, we have seen at Grace Hand-Tied Method that this has the biggest payout in the long run. And there are 2 reasons why. 1, I'm sure you've heard this before, people purchase from those they like, they know, and they trust. And when you build trust, you'll begin to be someone that these people know and that they like, right, through your social media presence. And then also the second reason is that going to a new stylist and breaking up with your current stylist is difficult. But if you build trust online with your new followers, it makes landing new clients so much easier. So here's the first way to build trust. Show your face. I know for some of you, showing your face online isn't your favorite thing to do, but the reality is people want to see who you are behind your account. By showing your face, you can begin to connect with your audience in an authentic way. So I'm going to share with you 3 ways to show your face online this week. I encourage you to write this down and take some action. 1, post a headshot and introduce yourself to your followers. This could be a picture that you have of maybe you in your space or a headshot you had done, and you could write a little bio or even a bullet pointed list of some things about yourself. Another thing you could do is reintroduce yourself on your stories. You could talk a little bit about yourself, take those bullet points that you made in your post, turn it into a story, use those as your talking points, and then put the Ask Me Anything question box at the end of your story and spend the next day answering questions that your followers ask. And third, you can give a tour of your space. Show your face, flip the camera, do a walkthrough of your space. That is a great way to show your face and to build trust. The second way that you can build trust is to showcase your personality. You want to genuinely connect with your audience so you can attract clients you enjoy spending time with. You spend time with clients sometimes hours at a time, and having people in your chair that you get along with is super important. This is a huge tip that we love to say at Grace Hand-Tied Method. When you're speaking online, speak as if you're talking to your best friend. You will come across more authentic this way. So now we're going to share 3 ways to showcase your personality on social media this week. Our first suggestion is do 2 truths and a lie in your feed or on your stories and see what your audience thinks. Second, share a hobby or interest you have that's outside of the beauty industry. Remember, you want to showcase your personality and other things that you like and that you do outside of doing hair. And third, share some good news. Share something great that's happened to you and share it, again, as you're speaking to your best friend to showcase your personality and to speak in an authentic way. The third way to build trust is through storytelling. Storytelling sells. There's so much research on this. And who doesn't love a great story? Not to mention, storytelling helps your followers retain information and gives you credibility. When it's time to go on your Instagram stories or write a caption, think about telling your followers a story instead of thinking, oh, what the heck am I going to write this time? Here are 3 stories that you could tell this week on social media. Share your why. Why did you become a stylist? What's the story behind that? Most of the stylists that I talk to have a really interesting and unique story. Share it. Share a story about a client who had an incredible extension transformation or any other kind of hair transformation. We just recommend asking their permission first if you want to use their name or keeping it vague. We still recommend asking for their permission first. And third, tell a story of how you opened your salon or studio or why you're an extension artist in the first place. And the fourth way to build trust is to stay consistent. Now, let's do a little imagination here. Imagine you just came across a local restaurant on Instagram and it looked pretty amazing. They posted pictures of delicious food, showed their space on their stories, and you really wanted to go. But life is busy. Then poof, you haven't seen anything from this restaurant in weeks. Chances are you probably forgot about this restaurant completely. Life is busy and social media is a free advertising tool. By staying consistent, you can continue to remind your audience you exist. Here are 3 ways we recommend you could stay consistent. 1, treat social media like a client. This means put time in your schedule to create and schedule content instead of it being an afterthought. 2, plan ahead. We schedule all our posts ahead and we use Later, which is later.com, Later Media. That's a scheduling service. And another way to stay consistent is grab a buddy. Find somebody to stay consistent with. If you're looking for someone and you can't think of anyone off the top of your head, we recommend going to our Facebook support group and making a post there and finding someone that way. But just remember, building trust takes time. It's definitely not something that happens overnight. With consistency, you'll soon begin to reap the benefits. If you go out and try one of our suggestions, be sure to tag us so we can cheer you on. If you want to learn more about Grace Hand-Tied Method and all the amazing courses and opportunities we have, visit gracehandtiedmethod.com to learn more. We'll be back next week on Thursday with more Thought Leader Thursday content. See you then.